Hey Kingdom, I read in the comments someone asked, why no one playing Cinder Strike Rogue? So I made this build for you. Let's see it in action. And to try to answer why no one playing Cinder Rogue actually. I have found 0 builds on last Epoch ladder, but look how cool it's looking. I mean, it's really insane, and if you're looking for classic Rogue gameplay, that's going into melee range with daggers and jumping left and right and can wait attacks with the shadow strikes, I mean, it's looking incredible. But there's definitely a reason why definitely no one playing him. So first of all, last Epoch is mostly like farming game for most players, you know, guys just want to farm fast. And with Cinder Strike Rogue, you actually need to go into melee range and then attack your enemies until they killed. So there's no kind of like damage over time skills that can defeat enemies from range or when you just go away from them. And that's main reason. While Cinder Strike doing really nice amount of damage with fast attacks, nice crits, they're scaling pretty well as you can see, and my attack speed is just insane. This Bladedancer actually need to go and finish enemies by himself, so we can't kind of farm really fast. We are rolling and moving really fast, but farming still is lacking. So possibly that's single and most important reason. Also to actually scale like this, you need a lot of uniques for your build and nice modifiers. So take a look at the gameplay of this rogue while I'm explaining my skills and passives and gear. And as always, let's start with our skills. And in this build, basically we get a lot of protective stuff that will help us improve our Cinder Strike. Our most important protective stuff is Shift, and I'm leveling it pretty standardly. So we're going to the left side, get a Shadowed Recuperation, which gives us more healing. And with 3 points over here, we can get to next node, increasing our healing per point of dexterity, and also Rebound. Now, if a single hit deals more than 50% of our health, we will have reset cooldown of this ability, very useful in tight situations. Also, we're going to the right side and gaining velocity, 3 points in here, increasing cooldown recovery speed and mana efficiency. Then I got momentum, that gives me haste after I'm using this shift action, and also I'm leveling to the left side. Now shift will recover mana and health. I mean, no health, it will regain more mana below half health. Just in case you're using it, you'll have some mana. That's not a big deal actually, you don't need more than 3 points in here. But you need this Shadow Sleep and vulnerability while shifting, really useful stuff. Also, I got elusive, so for 1 second after shifting I will have increased dodge rating, and also I got 1 point in lasting presence, mostly because I get 23 points in shift right now, so I don't have like any useful nodes, and I got this lasting presence to leave shadow behind me. You don't need this node actually, if you're trying to play Cinder Rogue yourself. And also emergency flask, shift consume a health potion if you're below 50% health. So it's pretty useful, kinda, you don't need to use potions by yourself, you're just using shift, you're lower than 50% health, shift is recharged, you're using shift once again, and it will use your health potion. So that's kinda nice, quality of life kinda thing. But again, don't think about this node too much if you're not at like 20 plus points in shift. Next protective ability is Smoke Bomb. And with Smoke Bomb, we instantly want to go to the top right to get our glancing blow chance while we're standing inside, and also increase frequency when we get in this Dusk Shroud with these 4 points in rapid concealment. That's like pretty standard leveling of Smoke Bomb. Also, I got 5 points in Generosity and Lingering Fumes, increasing duration and area, 4 points in Smoke Blades. Each second I'm gaining more melee damage while I'm standing inside the Smoke Bomb, so it's really useful to just stack damage against bosses. And when we're stuck in a place, maybe we want some health leech, so melee leech will be 6% with 3 points in Blood Bandit. And that's how I leveled the Smoke Bomb, pretty easy and straightforward. And now let's go to fun skills. I guess let's start with Little Mirage. I don't know if a lot of people actually know how it looks like, but it's basically a skill that's doing right now 54k damage estimated, but it's doing a lot less actually to one target most of the time. But it's useful for disappearing basically. You will become immune for a duration and rapidly strike nearby targets with 6 mirages. So basically you're pressing this strike and you're invisible while you're doing damage with mirages. Again, that's one more protective layer because we will be in melee range most of the time, so we need some kind of spell that can be used to disappear from boss attack and evade it and basically destroy him with damage. And also, Little Mirage will be used as finisher, so let me explain. When you're leveling Little Mirage, I'm going to the bottom left first, bottom right, sorry. And Little Mirage will do more damage and also leech some health. So again, when you're in tight situation, it's very cool to just use Shift and Mirage instantly, so you will leech some health, regain some health. It's very useful stuff, especially at high corruption. Also, we got 4 points in Umbral Traversal. You gain haste after you reappear, again useful to save yourself, and 1 point in Without a Trace. That's super insane note, just 1 point here gives you kill threshold 18%. So now anyone who is below 18%, you just press on Mirage and he will be instantly dead. Very useful against bosses and high health enemies. Other notes I got in Mirage 3 is Magellan Blade, increasing melee physical damage, 3 points in Consuming Darkness, you gain health and mana per kill with Little Mirage. Again, it's not like super useful, but sometimes you need just a little bit of health to save yourself. Also 2 points in Unending Mirage, gives you more additional mirages, and 2 points in Umbral Expanse, more additional mirages. More mirages means more attacks, more chances to do more damage, more chances to get more health, to leech more health, and that's kind of self-explanatory and smart leveling, I guess. Also, I got Umbral Burst. When you reappear, Little Mirage releases a burst of smoke, blinding nearby enemies, again, protective reasons. And I got 1 point in Wounding Ambush, but you don't have to, because I got 23 points in Little Mirage. But if you get less, you just can get less points in Consuming Darkness, don't level up Wounding Ambush, and maybe 1 less point in Magellan Blade. That's it. So now our active stuff. How Cinder Strike work? I will unequip my weapon, so I will lower my attack speed. And Cinder Strike doing combo of 3 attacks. First attack creates explosion, and then 2 normal attacks. So explosion damages all around you, and then you're doing 2 attacks normally. That's why it's very nice to scale with attack speed, and basically you can hold this button, it will cost 0 mana, and you just spam these attacks. With high attack speed, it looks like this. So that's insane and crazy, nice damage output is insane, and looking cool. So how I'm leveling this awesome skill, and I tried to make a build, first of all, with overexertion. You will have no second or third attack, but mana cost will be up by 30. So this mana cost is actually deadly, and it's very hard to regain this cost as melee fighter. That's why, in my opinion, it's not very useful. So probably it's useful when you're using bow, and maybe Cinder Strike bow user will be maybe useful. So that's kind of deadly note. Instead, I leveled it completely into damaging ability. So it's Blast Wave, 4 points in here, first attack damage will be higher by 40% and increased area. 1 point in Soot and Ash, just to go to the next nodes, and I'm going to the left to increase attack speed, 3 points in here, getting Pocket Scent. Now our blind chance will be converted to critical vulnerability chance, to inflict really crazy amount of damage with critical strikes, and Cauterize, giving us critical strike multiplier, and first attack will have critical strike multiplier by 100% increased, 150%, that's crazy. And also I got this right note over here, Ignite Chance, 2 points, 2 points in Insecurate, and then 5 points in Searing Blows, more critical strike chance, and maximum critical strike chance bonus is increased, so that's cool. And that's basically how I leveled Cinder Strike, easy, straightforward, damaging ability. And to increase our damage from Cinder Strike even more, I'm using Synchronized Strike. So this strike costs mana, you're using it, and doing damage after jumping forward a little bit. So this stuff is leveled like this. We're getting 1 point in dynamics, increasing mana efficiency, 5 points in attack speed, and also perfect coordination. It will increase mana cost, but now shadows will jump inward. It makes a lot easier to focus down bosses, and attack speed is not for this spell. You're granted with increased attack speed if this hits enemy. So basically you're using the Synchronized Strike, and you're starting to attack a lot faster, doing crazy amount of damage to bosses. But also you need to right bottom note over here, Coordinated Cuts. you will have armor shred chance and armor shred effect. So you shredding enemy's armor, doing more damage. Also, it will be able to increase critical strike vulnerability on enemies, and also true strikes critical strike multiplier will be up by 60%. But only for the skill. Still, it's useful note over here. And also growing darkness, 4 points in here to increase area. If you don't have these 3 points, I would go for increased area instead of critical strike multiplier, because we use synchronized strike mostly for buff and not for damage. And now it's time to go to our passives. So that's Bladedancer Mastery. And guys, I got a nice idea right now, and we will test it with you together. So bro, you're special. You're right now looking in history of making super cool and broken build. So Rogue, I got 29 points here. You're not supposed to get all these points instantly, but to get 20 points and then go to Bladedancer. But what I got here, I got increased attack speed and physical damage. I got more dexterity and health, and twin blade. Now we can equip sword in offhand and dagger in offhand. Also we got increased damage while dual wielding, dodge rating while dual wielding, and also I got this sapping strikes. So now when you use a skill that costs 0 mana and hits an enemy, you regain health and mana. I was using it when leveling, and also when I tried to make Cinder Strike work with this passive over here that increasing mana cost. So I was looking for some ways to regain mana, but it's not working. Just I haven't found solution how to make it work. So these 4 points here possibly not useful, but for next build that I will show you in a second will be very useful. Let's first of all take a look at our Bladedancer. We got 5 points in Pursuit, increasing damage and movement speed. Also 8 points in Cloak of Shadows for dexterity and glancing blow, 8 points in Ons, melee physical damage increased, 1 point in Shroud of Dusk, and 5 points in Veil of Night, increasing melee attack speed and chance to get Dusk Shroud. So you, I guess, seen how I'm leveling this class, this build. I'm looking for dexterity, dodge modifier, melee physical damage, critical strike chance, and critical strike multiplier. That's what I'm looking for. Also, we're looking to cap our resistances, and also I got some nice armor and dodge rating with nice amount of stats. And that's what you're looking for when you're leveling this dude. Also, that's how we're leveling Bladedancer. We get dodge rating over here with increased damage while at full health, and we will try to be at full health most of the time, because we will have this blood dance that will give us increased health leech rate and melee damage leached as health. Also 8 points in Flash of Steel, increasing melee attack speed while dual wielding and damage while dual wielding. 8 points in Weapons of Choice, and Weapons of Choice will give you different effects depending on what items you have in hands, and I'm looking for Axe and Dagger. This will give us 16% physical leech, very powerful stuff. Possibly you can experiment with Sword and Dagger for critical strike chance, but that's what I will look for. Also Perfection, maximum Perfection stacks will be increased, damage per stack of Perfection, 2 points in Confidence, 2 points in Hooked Blade for armor shred, and 5 points in Exuberance, increasing damage at full health. Again, we will try to stay at full health most of the time, and I got 10 points in here, 5 in Critical Eye, increasing our critical strike chance and inflicting critical strike vulnerability, and also All In, increasing critical strike multiplier, but it will reduce damage dealt by non-critical hits and less damage over time. Again, we're not looking for damage over time, we will crit a lot, so that's totally fine. And also I got 6 points in Marksman, that gives me dexterity and dodge rating debuff. On gear, I'm looking for increased damage while wielding a dagger, dexterity, increased health and armor. On idols, you're looking for critical strike multiplier while dual wielding, and also for damage while wielding a dagger, increased health, and some dodge rating with physical resistance. So how we can change this build? Actually, we can go completely into Bladedancer Rogue and get another skill that no one using. Let's respect the skill and get Dancing Strikes. Again, no one using Dancing Strikes. And Dancing Strikes looking cool. So we can increase area with this broad dancing. Then we can get armor shred, that's totally fine. And get Rhythm, which will increase global damage per every stack. So we can have up to 10 stacks of Rhythm, increasing global damage by 100%. And we definitely want 4 points here to get perfect choreography to increase global damage even more, increase our dodge rating, and also Art of Blades will increase critical strike multiplier, and we can max out this stuff later, and also we can get eluding steps to increase our dodge rating for short duration after use. And also this dancing strikes on the bottom node, if we take resolute technique, will increase damage of Lethal Mirage per each time we used this dancing strikes. So let me check this out. Basically we're dancing and doing some damage, and let's see it in action. So we're just running around and dancing and having fun, doing pretty nice amount of damage. And now our Mirage should do really nice amount of damage, by the way, I guess. In my opinion, it's looking cool. And basically we can travel with these skills and use Cinder Strikes to do more damage, then jump, do more of this stuff. Like, I don't know, that's a really cool Blade Dancer and real Blade Dancer in my opinion. Oh my goodness, this Chris is insane. Yeah, very mobile, cool and fun to play class. So I hope you enjoyed this awesome build for Blade Dancer. Make sure to watch article videos on skin right now.